I understand that Anthony Joshua is now in the UK and the bodies of his close friends, the late Sinner and Latif, will be laid to rest tomorrow in the UK. First and foremost, condolences to them. It's a very, very sad story, very, very sad. And I just wanted to give my own, two thoughts to the fatal incident that happened in Nigeria on a number of levels. So the first thing I wanted to mention was the cause of this accident. Um, this is a developing story and is now a legal matter. So the courts will decide in terms of what happened after the investigation. I understand that the driver has been arrested and he will be arraigned to court on the 20th of January in Nigeria. He's been charged with 4 counts: reckless driving, undertaking, and intent to cause bodily harm to life and property. And I'm assuming that that's manslaughter rather than first-degree murder. We also understand that the driver said that the brakes failed. But you see, earlier we heard that the tire burst. So which is it? Is it that the tire burst or the brakes failed? Either way, the driver should not, in my opinion, should not have been driving at such a speed. When you look at the footage from the scene of that accident, you can see that you can't see what car it is. So if somebody told me, guess that car, I wouldn't have guessed that was a Lexus 570, LX 570. It could have been a Land Cruiser. It could have been a Prado. It could have been an ML. It could have been one of the big Hyundai cars. So you can't tell. And when you can't tell the make of a car after an accident, it usually signifies there's heavy speed. That's why they have crash test dummies for a reason. When a car hits at 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, and you can change that to kilometers if you want, there's a way the car will look. It's usually when the speed limit is illegal and unbearable that you can't tell what car it is. And that's what happened in the Anthony Joshua case. So the driver was overspeeding. Why was he overspeeding? We don't know. Let's even remove the fact that the brakes failed or there was a burst tire. It shouldn't have been speeding that much, which was the directly resulted in the deaths of the people who died. And then it was also undertaken. Why would he be undertaking and not seeing that there was a parked car, which means there was a blind spot? Once you can't see what's in front of what you want to overtake or undertake, as the case may be, you don't make a move. And you also don't overtake or undertake on the right side in Nigeria, as it is in the US and Canada as well. It is wrong. So the driver is going to obviously take a lion's share blame on this one. So on the driver's side, let the authorities do their thing. Very unfortunate, lovable guys, 3 of them. They went to Nigeria. Of course, AJ just had his fight on the 19th of December against Jake Paul, shown on Netflix, 33 million views. They each made $93 million, record payday for AJ, top of the world. Less than 2 weeks later, this happens. This happens. Very, very tragic. And this is not their first time in Ogun State. This is not their first time in Shagamu. There's actual footage, Instagram footage of one of the guys saying they came back to see the remarkable progress they've made. If you invest in something, you would like to go back and see what you've invested in. So it's fair for them to go there. For people that are saying, oh, why did they go to Nigeria? You don't know AJ. He's Nigerian as well as he's British. So he was going to invest back in his roots. And accidents do happen globally, worldwide. I don't need to mention examples of even people that died in 2025 that are global names who, as a result of speed, also lost their lives. And this has been happening every single year in different parts of the world. Somebody famous dies from a car accident, or more than one. So condolences to the dearly departed. Condolences to AJ himself, because he will be hurting on this. You'll be seriously hurting. And I'll go into the psychological part of my video. So I've talked about what happened. Psychological part, AJ will be devastated. He's known these guys for a very long time. They train with him. I think one is his personal trainer. The other one is his fitness trainer, who owns a couple of gyms around the UK. So they were friends. They work with him. They're also part of his charitable project. So these are brothers. These are not just friends. It's not like AJ demarcated who he wanted to do charity with, then demarcated who he wanted to be friends with, then demarcated who he wanted to train with. These guys were training with him. He was doing business with them, and he was also doing charity with them. So these are brothers. And he had a fight. He has a fight in March. I don't know what the state of that fight is going to be now. That's why I'm going to the next part of this video, which is the psychological part. He will be absolutely torn apart. And when they were leading him away from the car, they didn't allow him to look back. He looked stunned. If you saw the way he was wincing when he came out of the car, I don't think he even realized where he was. He was dazed, confused. Probably it was when he got to the hospital that he was asking about his friends. They didn't allow him to see the dead bodies. And rightfully so. But I understand that he went to the hospital in Nigeria for a couple of days. He was discharged. And after the discharge is when he now went to the UK. He also visited a funeral home just to make sure that the right things were done, what they could do to get the bodies in shape to be able to fly them back into the UK. Very gory story and very harrowing and painful. I am pained. I am pained. So psychologically, this is going to hurt him. They were very close. And this was very needless. This was a needless accident. This shouldn't have happened, but it did. And he's going to need a lot of support. Please put him in your prayers. I'll put him in my prayers too. Put him in your prayers. Put the families of Sina and Latif in your prayers, because they had a family. Even if they didn't have their own family, they were not married, they didn't have children, they had a family. They were born into a family. They didn't just fall out of the sky. Probably had brothers, probably had sisters, I don't know, uncles, aunties, somebody who knows them, somebody who loves them. Pray for them. Pray that God helps them during this very trying time. Psychologically, the whole families, the families of the Joshua, the families of Sina, the families of Latif, and even the whole team, the promoter, all of them are going to be in pain. Now I'm going to go to the next boxing match. I think that should be postponed. I don't know the details of the contract. Was due to be held in March. Will AJ be in the right frame of mind to start training? I don't think so. Although he did some training in Nigeria, I don't think so. I think the best thing for them to do is to postpone this. But I don't know anything about the contract to know if that's going to be possible. Will AJ be able to fight again? I don't know. Probably not. Will he be in the frame of mind to want to fight again? Not for now. But remember, AJ is 36, sorry. So he's already, past his best. Somewhat past his best. But with this happening, it might be more difficult for him to get that motivation to continue. So those are the psychology, and then the pain. Anytime he remembers, it's going to need a lot of support, like I said, to get back. And some parts of him will never get back. Some people are saying, oh, it's Nigeria. It's not Nigeria that caused it. Overspeeding, reckless driving, and undertaking wrongly caused this accident. The Nigerian bit, I'll come to that in a second. Yes, I agree in terms of lack of emergency services, 100% correct. Why was there no ambulance at the scene of the accident? AJ stood sat there for God knows how long, just people around him taking videos, footage. And even when some people came, I believe from the FRSC, which is the Federal Road Safety Commission, they just guided him shirtless and put him into another Hilux van, and they probably drove him to the hospital. They should have been no gurney on his neck. What if he had whiplash? What if he potentially had a spinal cord condition? So that's what the emergency services, that's what the ambulance is there for. All those equipment to be there. They might even give him gas, oxygen right at the scene of the crime. Carry him gently, lying flat on the bed, and then take him into the ambulance and start to do tests, start to check his vitals as much as they can, right there and then, before they get to the hospital. Already radioing the hospital and telling the hospital to get the bed ready and all of that. And in Ogun State, not one single ambulance throughout that ordeal. It's shameful. It's very shameful. And the authorities should do better. They can do better, and they should do better with the budget to ensure that the ambulances are available for people who have accidents. Are we saying there's no federal ambulance, there's no state ambulance, there is no private ambulance that could have gotten to the scene to transport him? Should this even only be about AJ? It should be about anybody. It shouldn't take a celebrity to tell us what to do. We should know what to do as a nation to ensure that the lives and property of people that are applying federal roads and state roads are secure. In as much as, yes, I've talked about the speed part. Now, the emergency services should be there where people survive horrendous accidents to take them swiftly to be treated. It's one of the dividends of democracy. It's one of the reasons why we pay taxes. It's very shameful. Now, the legal part. I talked about the legal part earlier. I'll leave that to the authorities. January 20th is around the corner. He'll get his day in court. And, he'll give that's the driver now, he give his own version of events as to what happened. But I'm also hearing and reading that he didn't have a license. Really? He didn't have a license because his license had expired. So somebody should have been responsible for ensuring that his license, an unlicensed driver did not drive a world champion. I don't think that's AJ's direct responsibility to be checking. After all, when I go to foreign countries and I go into an Uber, I don't ask the Uber driver, is your license valid? I expect Uber to have done their checks. The same way AJ, I can't blame AJ for that one. The same way AJ expects the logistics company that he's used to ensure that they vetted the driver. The driver has insurance, the driver has a license. You're able to transport him from A to B. And this is not their first time in Shagamu. And I think that driver might have driven them before. And I'm not sure. And that driver might have been the one that drove them there. So what changed? This happened at 11 a.m. Was he under the influence? What made him speed so much? Finally, I want to talk about the convoy. I understand there's a 2-car convoy. If anybody has any corroborating or contradicting statements, let me know. Put it down in the comment section. And welcome to my channel, by the way. If they had a 2-car convoy and AJ's car was in front and the car was at the back, that's wrong. That car, there should be a leading car, and AJ's car should have been behind, protecting the assets. 2 cars isn't enough for somebody of his stature. He should have had a minimum of 5-car convoy. 2 in front, AJ's car in the middle, 2 at the back. Clearly laid out instructions. Nobody exceeds 100 kilometers per hour. Have walkie-talkies. The minute you see somebody is overspeeding, you're overspeeding too much, please reduce your speed. I understand that the president of the country has said people cannot use police people to drive them anymore and convoys. That's understandable because of the security situation in Nigeria. But there's still private security. Proper private security that drives celebrities all day, every day. There's so many international celebrities that have come to Nigeria for Dirty December. I don't believe any of them have been involved in an accident that has been reported. If there has, please put it in the comment section. So something has done wrong, and we'll find out in court. And yes, if he is guilty, he should be charged. For me, he's already guilty for speeding so much. Why would he speed so much? So, many lessons to learn in this. Personal security is very important. Speed kills. We have to take care of ourselves. Life is very fragile, very, very fragile. And my condolences again goes out to the families, all the families involved. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm new, trying to grow. Please support me. If you agree with anything I said, please put it in the comment section. If you don't agree with anything I said, that's fine as well. Put it in the comment section. Please share, and I'll see you in the next one.